It's a quick overview of my 4-watch collection. I'll try to keep this pretty brief. I did do separate reviews on some of these watches already. So number one, and the one that's actually been in here the longest, is this No Time to Die from Omega. I have a separate video on it. I have this on an olive green NATO. It's very light on the NATO. And at one point in time, I was thinking, this watch, it is an expensive watch, even though I did buy it used. Could I replace it with another titanium diver that maybe had better legibility, a little bit of a better bezel action? So I purchased the Pelagos 39 from Tudor. And I do have a comparison video between the two, but ultimately I decided to keep the No Time to Die. It was just a little bit more unique, a little bit more connected to this watch. So when I listed the Pelagos 39 for sale, I actually got an offer for a trade. And it was this Gen 2 Planet Ocean. It was one that I considered when I was looking for a Planet Ocean, and I wound up going with the Gen 1 orange bezel. I also have a video comparing this one to the Gen 1. The one drawback of this one has always been the thickness to me. And I was pretty much convinced, after wearing both of them, that I would keep the Gen 1 orange one. But actually, wearing this 8500 more and more, it just made more sense. I kind of really connected with this watch. I just love how these orange numerals, while on the 2500 they get lost in lower lighting, the paint on these is almost a little bit fluorescent, and even in dark lighting they're so visible. And after wearing it for a while, I got used to the thickness, and honestly it doesn't bother me. It's a diver. It's supposed to be on the chunkier side. I think on the strap it just wears so much more lighter than the bracelet. And it's a really, really fantastic watch. It has the upgraded movement, jumping hour hand. I really like the gray of the bezel, and kind of the darker dial compared to the 2500. So I did decide to keep this one. So it is in my collection now. So interestingly enough, I listed the Planet Ocean, the Gen 1 for sale, and I got offered another trade, and the trade was for an IWC Mark 18 Pilot. And I did do the trade. I wore that Mark 18 for a little bit, but the lug to lug just felt a little bit too long. My wrist is 17 centimeters. So what I wound up doing is I did another trade, and I read about the Mark 20 and the fact that the lugs were shortened. The case was made a little bit more wearable for smaller wrists. So I wound up trading that Mark 18 for this Mark 20 in blue. And I quickly also ordered the Santoni strap. This was the strap that was on the Petite Prince, the kind of limited edition, I think, of the Mark 18. And it just wears so well. On the strap, the bracelet is fantastic too, but I really think the quintessential look for these pilots is on these straps with the stitching, and it just wears really well. It has a better movement, has the in-house movement, 120 hours power reserve, and overall the case is very slim, very wearable. This is a 40 millimeter dial face, around 11 millimeter thickness. So it works really well, and this kind of classic design is great. I would say the one drawback is the loom. The numerals are not loomed, which actually surprised me. Just the kind of indices at 3, 6, and 9 and 12. And my other final piece is this Speedmaster. So I have it on the Forstner flat link. I think it just looks a lot more vintage. I love the look of this. I do have the spiral winder case back on this. It actually takes away about 1 millimeter of thickness, so it's actually very thin. And this is probably my favorite watch. If I had to keep a keeper, it would probably be this one. So it wears so much better in my opinion on this bracelet, as well as the 3861 bracelet. The female end links make it wear a little bit smaller wrists. And overall, really happy with this watch. It served me well, very versatile, and just a little bit different than the standard Speedmaster. And overall, you know, when it comes to the current collection, I'm pretty happy with what I have at the moment. I'm not sure if I will be picking anything else up. I think a GMT at some point would be great. But overall, you know, the two divers, they're fairly different. One is kind of the big, chunky, a little bit more luxury looking diver in this Planet Ocean. This Omega No Time to Die is just light, very thin, almost as thin as the original Seamaster, the blue one that Brosnan wore. Very versatile. The IWC can go from sport to dress depending on the strap, and then obviously the quintessential Speedmaster. That's it for now.